Hi everyone, welcome back to Dillon's Den, and I've had to do quite a bit of editing for this one. It has been an absolute nightmare. I've had bits where stuff's not worked, where stuff's not lined up properly. So if you're determined, I've kept most of it in, and I've done 6 issues. I've edited it best I can, and I've got it to like an hour 7 minutes. So I normally do 6 issues when I do my Bat Mobile build videos, but I'm going to split it 50-50. So I'm going to do 3 this time round and 3 on the next video, which I'll post the very next day. So in this video, we are doing stages 89 through to 91, and it's pretty much continuing more work on the canopy section where the windshield's going to go, and installing some motors on that mechanism. We've got some interior paneling to fit, and we've got some more cabling really. It don't sound like a lot, but it just didn't go to plan. But yeah, it is worth it in the end. So anyway, see what you guys think. Okay guys, issue 89. We'll have a quick flick through the mag. The Lego Batman. Can't beat a bit of Lego Batman, can we? Okay, so first thing I'm going to do in this issue, we've got the sliding motor housing unit. So it is for the windscreen, so just attaching, I think it's the part we made from last issue, onto the windscreen. We're going to be taking some of the switches, and we're going to be installing 3 switches to that underside. We've got some more switches by the looks of it, and then we actually start work on the actual parts that are being supplied in this issue. We're just pretty much putting on the switching housing unit onto this rack, and then we are popping the windscreen onto this roof section, and then securing it with the actual rack itself. And then another motor that's going to go into that housing unit there. And at the end of it, we should have a complete built up roof rack / windscreen assembly, and obviously all the mechanics in there and electrics to allow that to slide up and down. And next issue, we've got some more racks to install and an engine cover. So without further ado, let's get building. Oh. Okay, so here are the parts for 89. Okay then, so we need the windscreen. We're going to flip that over, so we have access to these 2 middle connectors here, and we are bringing in this piece here that we made in the last issue. So if you look closely, there is 2, one thing on it. Here's a little peg there, and on the back, if I turn it around, you can see the hole there. So that corresponds with these 2 holes in this unit. As you can see, there's 2 holes. So one of the holes is for the pegs, and the other one is to secure both these pieces. Okay, so once that's clicked in, it is just 2 AM screws to hold that into place. Don't forget your 3-in-1 oil. And 2. Okay, and that's in position, and that moves nice and freely. I'm going to put that to one side, and we're going to bring over spaghetti junction. Right. Don't just love all these wires, don't we? We ask for more, and it just becomes a nightmare. Right, so we need switches that are marked up 26, 28, and 29. So, where do we start? Right, let's have a look. I think they're all on this side by the looks of it. I'll just zoom in a little bit. There we go. So we need 29, which is here. Come on. Ooh, 29. 28. That's it. And 26, which is just here. Come on. Also, just be very careful. You don't want to pull them too much and damage your cable. Right, so once we've done that, we can pop that back to one side. And it's these 3 cables that we need. Okay, so we're going to take the roof rack that we made in the previous issue, flip it round, and we're going to install these switches. And to secure them, we do need the WM screws. So we'll get these out. I didn't want that one. Just chuck it on the floor, Craig, it's right. You know, it's only a screw. Good job, always got a spare, isn't it? So, first one we're going to do is cable 26. That's 28. 26. So there we go. There is number 26. Yep, there you go. So there is 26. And this is the switch side. And it is going in this far one here. And it's going to be lined up this way around, just like that. So the switch is like that. And through that hole, we're going to secure it with a WM screw. So a bit of 3-in-1 oil and drive that screw into place. That's better. Lovely. Okay, so next up we're going to do number 29, which is here. And 29 is going in this housing unit here. And this one is going this orientation, I believe. It looks like we do need to bend these cables nice and gently. So it goes like that. There we go. And same again, WM screw. And then last one is cable 28. And that is going into this one here. And as you can see, these cables love getting in your way. I just need to bend this away, get this one into position. Come on. Come on. That's your home. Come on. I don't like that. There we go. Give that a little wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And this one is very tight. It doesn't look like it's in. Because even on the picture, it looks flush with these bits here. And mine's got a nice lip on it. I don't know if there's a little bow in this one, just to stop it. Got you. There we go. Nice and flush. No, it's ever straightforward, is it? Right. And then another WM screw to secure that into place. There you go. So you might just need to unloose them a little bit just to make sure that toggle switch works. Because when you do tighten them a little bit too much, it stops it from springing back. So yeah, you might have to gauge that a little bit when you do that. Okay, let's move on to the next section. Okay, so next up, we're going to take this housing unit and we are taking switch number 27. So I've already got this one out. And we're going to install this. Yes, so this is going in disorientation. And this, so this is going in disorientation. And this metal tab is going to be bent upwards. So I might even just do that now. So very carefully, just bend that into position. Just like that. And then that should allow us to get this switch into its home. So it should fix in something like that, and these cables need to come down here. We'll get that secured in place. So it should look something like this. So switch in this top corner, the metal piece there bent up, and just try guide these cables this way. Okay, so once that's tightened up, it should look something like this. Let's just make sure that switch is also moving nice and freely. And that's that complete. So next up, we do need this section and this section. I'm going to get this put together. Okay then, so if I turn this round, you can see there's like a bit of a runner section either side, and that is going to go along the, that's going to go along these two edges here. So it wants us to slide it in from this end. So you've got this shorter end and the fatter end. So we're starting from the fatter bit. And it wants the switch side to go in first. So there we go. That is just going to slide in there, just like that. Show you from this angle. Yeah, that just slots in there just like that. Easy peasy. Okay. So it does actually want two of these screws in. The diagram was deceiving. Luckily I've read the description. There's one. And two. Hey, look at that. Bobby Dazzler. Hey. Don't know where Bobby Dazzler come from, but I don't know. Right. Right, so next up, we need, I'll just move this to one side. We need this housing unit and this motor. and this motor is marked up as 34. So there is a certain way to do this, and we need the cable through first. So cable straight through. So where this smaller bit is here, that's the side the cables need to go at. I don't like this. I feel like I'm going to break the cable. That it? I think that's it. So there we go. So the cables, I'll zoom in again. The cables are going off in this direction. That was very tight. I didn't like that, I will admit. It looks like the cables are in good nick. The cables are in good nick. The glue's intact, and it looks like it's in prime condition. On to the final stages. I'm bringing this section back over, and we're going to push this manually right to the end. And as you can see now, that switch is actually stopping it. That's actually really good. That'll stop it. Then when it moves off, it'll start it. That'll stop it. So them two switches correspond to each other. And I'm guessing these two switches correspond to each other. Hey, look at that. So, just zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. We're taking this motor section we've just assembled. That is going straight in here. Just like that. And that's fixed in with 2 AFN screws. There's 1 and 2. There we go. And once we've done that, that is this issue complete. And look at all that. That is absolutely mental. And from the outside, look at that. Can't even see that windscreen now. That looks amazing. Can't wait to get this in working order. Right, let's move on to the next issue. Okay guys, issue 90. Let's have a quick flick through this mag. I think I need a bigger desk. Right, so looking into this, got some more small fiddly bits to do. So we're just starting this. Ooh, it looks like a motor bracket. It's just fixing 2 parts together. And then we are attaching the 2 roof sections where the ailerons are. So it's the back end of the roof. And we are screwing all that together. Popping it all on, popping another motor on with a cap. And it looks like there's some spring support. And that's going into this other rack, which is, I'm guessing, is going to be to operate the ailerons, I'm guessing. And yeah, just going to secure that with a screw, and that's it. Ready for the next issue. Issue 90. Get an AP screw loaded up. Right. So we need this section here. And we also need this section here. And these are just going to line up this way around and secured with 2 AP screws. Yeah, so there is 1 and 2. There we go, beautiful. Okay, so just going to pop all that to one side for now. We're going to get a load of CM screws ready. Get one loaded up. And we are bringing this section over. So I kind of stored it the way it's going to be put on anyway, because I figured it would be the easiest way to do it. So we do want to turn this over, but I would be very careful of these ailerons because you're on these little brackets, so also we don't want to snap anything. So I'm just going to very carefully flip that round. Before I do that, I'm getting ahead of myself. So as you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3 holes here, which correspond with 1, 2, 3. And we've got 1, 2, which would correspond with, so I'm guessing these 2 here. And that should poke out through this little circle bit here. So let's get this into position. Just like this. And then we're going to turn it over. Right. Just like that. Bring over the 3 in 1 aisle again. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 CM screws to hold this into place. So we've got 1 in this corner, another 1 in this corner, and then 3 across the back. So 1 in this corner, 1 in this corner, and 1 in the middle. So I am only putting these part the way in, because I don't want to put too much pressure on and snap any ailerons on the other side. So now they're in position, I'm just going to flip it round and just lift it up and screw them in whilst holding it. Okay then. So yeah, I'm just going to hold it in the middle somehow. I'm just going to tighten these 5 screws up. There's 1. There's 2. So yeah, also you're going into metal on metal parts. So I would suggest going as tight as you can, because obviously that is going to be a structure part for the roof. So that is going to be stationary anyway. So also you don't want it to be loose and flopping around. So get that nice and tight and secure. But yeah, just be careful of these ailerons when tightening that section up. You don't want them to break. Otherwise, you might as well go for the damaged look here. Right, so moving on. So we're going to flip it around again because we've got a bit more work to do on this section. Excuse me. So, first thing is first, we are taking this housing unit that we made at the beginning of the issue. Is going to line up with these 3 holes here. That should just marry up there, just like that. And that's held in with 3 CM screws. Oh, I can't wait to do a test run on this. It's going to be so good. And it has been one of these builds that started off pretty slow, doing all the interior and quite a bit of the boring sections. But the later stages have been fantastic. I've really enjoyed it. And seeing this bodywork come together, it's going to be absolutely spectacular when it's done. Can't wait. So that's the third CM screw. Okay then, so once we've done that, we need to locate another motor. So we're going to put this to one side. Again, bring back over spaghetti junction. Spaghetti junction. And we need motor 32. So where's 32? And don't say between 31 and 33. Because it is something I'd say. There we go, number 32, just here. I'm going to pull that out. Come on, there we go. Put the rest of that back. So bring over this section. Some EP screws. Okay, so we need the cover and the motor. And I'm just making sure I put the motor in the right way. Yep, it's going in that way. Okay, problem solved. So it is going into the cables coming up. And to do another double check, these metal intersections should be free. On the other side, the middle one's only halfway. There's another like gear there. So that goes to the bottom, this side's to the top. And that is just sitting in here, just like that. And then we are taking this cover, popping it into place. And to screw that together, it's just 2 EP screws, one on either side. Okay, so I'm just going to use a little bit of insulation tape just to help close this casing. I'm going to pop a piece of tape on that side, a little piece of tape on this side. Just going to use another bit of tape, skewer that onto there, and then hopefully when I bend this way, that'll just stay in position and I don't break that cable. There we go. Jobs are good. So we can put this main unit to one side now. So next up, I'm going to have to zoom in a little bit, aren't I? We've got, where's all these bits come from? Okay. Right, so we want it this way around, so it's like a number 6. And we want this. Oh, where's that gone? Got it. So here is the spring. And as you can see, when the camera decides to sharpen up, you can see it's got here one end that bends at 90 degrees and the other end is just totally straight, and it's the 90-degree bend that we need. So if we pop this in this way, and the bend is going to go into this top hole, so at the top of the number 6, if you will. Oh, my eyes, my eyes. Gotta be a surgeon to do this. Oh, there we go. That should go in just like that. So next up, we are taking this metal rack, and I believe, don't do that, Craig. Actually, it's winding me up. Come on, get in the hole. Right, that's back in. The spring needs to go in between this black plastic bit and this, so it pretty much needs to flip 180. So I don't, it might be best maybe to do this. No, it's not going to go in that way. It's not going to go that way. Right, it's going to roll that out. Okay, so you're going to have to be very careful. Keeping hold of this spring. And the spring goes in between this section here and over this hole. So it should go in just like that. Now I want that to stay there. And I'm going to secure that with a YMCA screw. Am I joking? YM screw. Right. And go into metal, so a bit of thermal and get that YM screw into place. Okay, that's finally done. Okay guys, issue 91. Let's see what's in store. So another quick flick of the mag. And we've got the interior upper panel. So this is going to add some of the cables and motors. But we do have some, we've got a lever to install. And that's fixed in between these two brackets here. And then a mounting bracket to fix that in with 2 CM screws. Fitting in 2 more switches, which is 37 and 36. Popping them in there with a WM screw. Same again with that one. And then a bit of insulation tape just to tidy up the wires. And that's it. So let's get cracking. And here's the box. Pretty big, isn't it? And you might hear me dogs because they've just decided to come join me in my room. So they might have a bit of a playtime because I like to do that in my room. I don't do it in any other room apart from here. And it's always when I'm recording. So I do apologise in advance if you do hear me dogs. Okay. So I'm going to take this lever section, and there is a chamfered bit and a squared end, and it's a chamfered bit that wants to go into this section here, and them 2 pins just go into them 2 grooves. And then we are taking this section here, and before I do anything, I just want to make sure they are both the same on either side, which looks like it is. And that I'm just going to slide over the top. Just like that. And it's going to be fixed in there and there with 2 CM screws. There we go. That switch moves nicely. Okay. So that is that. Now we need to dig out the 2 motors. Spaghetti junction. And we need switches 37 and 36. Right. Now we need these WM screws. Put that CM screw away. We'll get one of these loaded up. So bringing this section back over. We're starting with switch 36, which is just here, going in these 2 pieces here. So 36 is going in this closest one. This way. Yeah. So this one is going, I'll have to just bend these up a bit. Just in there. And then number 37 is going next door. And it's pretty much a mirror image. Just here. Just like that. And then that is held in with these WM screws. So next up, we're just going to tidy up some of these cables, and we want this one to come about here, and we want this one to bend around here. Just like that. And we're just going to secure that with some insulation tape. And then two. There we go. Push firm on there. And there we go. That's them cables, neat and tidy. And that's that issue complete. Okay then, so that's them 3 issues complete. So also we saw quite a lot of switches, quite a lot of motors, quite a lot of intercut parts. But I will say with these switches, I think I did mention in one of the clips, don't over tighten it, because it's only a small plastic casing and there's also a spring in there. And if you over tighten it, you're squashing that spring and you're stopping that switch, that little toggle switch, from bouncing back. So when you do test it, if it's a bit stiff or it's not moving freely, just unloosen it a little bit at a time until it starts to spring back on its own. And then hopefully, you shouldn't have any problems with your electrics. Hopefully. Well, that's my plan anyway. Anyway, if you guys have liked this, please remember to hit that like, share and subscribe. But for now, take care.